What is going to be the concept of tonight's video? Just to let you know, I will be working on equations through art. I am not complete. I'm not complete as of yet. There's some angles I'm working on in question right now. There's a few pages I'm writing how, well, let me see what this is. One, two, 3 pages over here. Give me 1 second. Close. To build a positive light traffic sphere, you're right. Okay, close. Okay. Okay, I have a question here from, if I can read it, King Waymaker. And the question is, very interesting, Mr. Tackpans. I found someone calculated Artemis. Okay, the word mise in Artemis, right, is to wager, place your bets. Art with an E. Excuse me. Art with an E. Just give me a minute. I'm not sure why it's not showing. Okay, it's a little blurry. I'm just going to put it up there for now. Just give me a minute to come back here. Whoa, my computer is. Just give it a minute. How is this going to set up? How can we set this up? Right? We can set it up like that, eh? What does that look like? Just give me a minute. I'll be back. I'm just warming up some tea. Just warming up some tea here. Okay, what kind of tea am I going to have? Hopefully something to relax. Chamomile. In some other language, it is manzanilla. Okay. How is everybody? How is everybody? Oh, goody, goody, goody. I'm all alone. That's good. So where's the camera? Okay. Let me see. I'm going to, for the beginning, I'm going to be redesigning while there is nobody here. So I'm not going to be talking. Well, now 2 people show up. Okay, so I have a few things that I've written down already and a few things I want to draw with reason. And it can be drawn with either a square and a rectangle and then an empty space. And then in row number 2, it's going to be on this side. And then it's going to be on this side. But when I come in between here, if I make a square, eventually these will close up. So I'm not sure if I should create a square here showing empty space or showing occupancy over here, in which is what I should be doing in row 2 over here. Let me just erase this. Where is the eraser? I like when things are in order. Right now they're not. I've been away from the machine for a while. Take my mind to another level. And the real world is knowing the truth. And I just don't want to step away from it. But in order to fix all computers, I had to step away. So here would be step number 2. See the way this angle would come in and what would happen over here? You'd have the 45 angle, which goes a whole area space, and then a half area space because of the art. This is I don't know the angles of this. I do know this is 135/45, meaning that if I'm going to come straight down here, it'll be 180 degrees. So in layman terms, using no numbers at all and just acknowledging that this is 180 and acknowledging that this is 90, I will acknowledge that if I was to create the letter I or the letter H, or to know that this or to be this would actually turn out to be this and to be this, the lines are now telling me within the alphabet what letters they are. And then for my sake, I will be putting 8 and 9 over here as to this one over here is 8 and this one over here is 9. As per the letter, H is the 8th letter in the alphabet. I is the 9th letter in the alphabet. But when you look at the angles of 90 and 180 degrees, we will be going 6 times 3 equals to 18, and 3 plus 6 equals to 09, giving me an equation within, and in a single digit count, it tells me that 1 plus 8 equals to what is 9. The letters are I and R. These are the only ones in the alphabet, okay, that evaluate to the reverse alphabet, 99. The 9th and the 18th letter equals to 27. They are the reverse of each other. There are other situations like the S and the H equal to 27, and there is an equation where they come together. I do not have the equation with me right now. This is S and H. So we have headquarters. The H, the Q, and the Z are all in the same family. 888, 8 and 17 and 26. And it's just peculiar how they took these two, which on the telephone, the Q is on number 7 and the Z is on number 9. DOGZ. The value of Z is 26, and in the word dog is 26. So you can complete words up to 27 in the alphabet alone, the reverse alphabet addition of 2 letters. So in 2-letter alphabet addition, yeah, I was painting. So in a 2-letter alphabet position, the reversed alphabet is 27 and 27, equaling to what is 54, and you have the sun. In order to get to the single digit alphabet, it would be 27. So the sun, as well, to a single digit, it becomes the fox. I call this the passage. The reason for this is 7 over 7 equals 14. 2 over 2 equals 4. It's a 4-1-4 exchange. 1 plus 4 equals to 5. If you multiply it, it becomes 44. And this will be for area space and the division for night and day. Just give me 1 second. As well, the way to create number 27 is 6 times 3, 6 plus 3. And the way to create 6 and 3 together mathematically through the power of 2 is 7 times 7, 7 plus 7 equals to 14 equals to 49. And within it, the word 8 equals to 49. The word green equals to 49. We know that blue and yellow come together. Two of the prime numbers come together to create that green. Why did I mention it? Because green is a combination of blue and yellow. Now I was working on that design, and I'm going to show you the one of the designs I did today, which is here. I'm hoping I didn't make any errors. I did not use X's. I can use X's. I can use O's. I have to think whether or not I want to put anything here. Should I have? If I did put an X for a void, okay, then it would look like this area here. So you have a beak on a square. So it almost looks like what is a D and O coming together. So now you have the 4th and the 15th letter. In bowling, when you create one stroke like this, usually in a box, it means a spare, which took 2 balls, okay, to knock 10, or it's a strike. Let me write this down. A strike, a spare, and a split. When you mark a strike, you usually darken it all in. And when you make a square, a spare, you would shade it in. Another way to make a strike is like this. Another way to make a spare is like this. So they both work. And usually for a split, if I understand, they usually mark it like this. I'm not sure if they mark it like this. Okay, but I know they mark it like this. They circle the number. The question is this the number? Each one of them is strike, spare, and split. So they all start with the S and then a T, start with the S and then a P, start with the S and then another P. This one was half and this one says split half. $20, $16, $16, 5 by 4 and 4 by 4, 2 by 8. So right away we know it's time heaven. It begins at 4th and it ends at 20th on the first tier, except the alphabet switches. Okay, after you've add up 1 through, actually it's 1 through 17 equaling to 18. Okay, but it's the first 18 and then it's the second 18, in which in the first 18 and the second 18, okay, this is the difference. The value counting up these letters equals to this. But the reality is 1 plus 9 equals to 1, 3 plus 6 equals to 9, and they both evaluate at 45. 1 plus 9 equals to 10, 1 plus 0 equals to 1, Pythagorean count, except they're on dimension 3. Here, they're on dimension 2, but they're on dimension 2. Let's see if I can explain this. 0, 1. How can I explain this? Did I say this right? Did I do this right? Let me ask myself that question. What happens is there was a reduction. It should be 2, but it's 3. How can we explain this? Because I'm going to count 1 over to 9, okay, as 1, and 10 over to 18 as 2, and 19 over to 26. Did I get that right? 1 over to 9, 10 over to 18, 19, 26 as 3. As please note that we only got 9 numbers. We got 9 numbers, and here we only got 8 numbers. So we're missing that 9th number to tie everything up. I have to understand that situation. It's been years. I've been creating different equations for this. Since I'm not showing you anything on it, we're just going to leave it out. So anyways, as I created this, we can see that here, as here's an area and here's an area, but these two areas are empty space. Everything is separated by 1. And through this separation or the obligation by the artwork, this one goes up looking like a D. This one goes up looking like a P. And I didn't say this for the next one, but when we come back to this from the bottom, this will invert to this, if I get that right, or is it the opposite side? And then this will invert to this. So we have the Q and the P and the D and the B. We have the Q and the P and the D. I don't know if it's decibels, and the B. The reverse alphabet of Q is J. The reverse alphabet of P is K. The reverse alphabet of D is W. The reverse alphabet of B is Y. So now we start to have an equation within the alphabet. Let me go back and see if I left anything out. Let me see if I wrote. I didn't write this whole thing out, so I think I'm just going to take a minute, okay, to just write out the page so I can throw it out. It's annoying that it's with me. So what is 0? What is 1? What is 0? Why don't we just say, oh, 1? Oh, no, it's a 0. What is 0? Is it an empty space? What is 1? See, this one over here, a 4 area, can be separated like this. Can you say that's 1 and 1? Can we say this is a 0? I don't know that situation, but I will tell you that this one over here, that's 2 by 1, 2 high by 1 wide. This is what Earth will be. And this one is Mars. This one is Earth, this one is Mars, and the separation is a separation of the equality to Mars on each side of this equation. Over here, there's an Earth, Earth, Earth separation. Is 3 Earths, 2 Mars, 3 Earths in this situation. But this is just a, we're just going to leave this design on the side. I'm going to have to recreate it. If you have any questions about it, just ask me. 0, 1. What is 0, 1? 6 times 4 equals 24. The X is the 24th letter. 6 plus 4 equals to 10J. The reverse of these two are C and Q. So we've just tied up what is C with X, as in the last equation, to what is Q from the last equation with Z. So we go back to the last equation. Here we have that QZ coming together here. Here we have the DW, so we don't have the QC. We have the QJ that comes into this. So once we connect the QJ, let me see what's going on here. Oh boy, anyways, I'm not going to mix them up. I can't start creating 1,000 different stories without finishing one. The total here is 34. The total for the value of 0 is 64. So 0 plus 1 equals to 98 for their word and letter count. And this is the English language. If it was in French, it'd be 0, 1. So these two, 0 plus 1, will be 35 and 64, equaling to 99. It is very, very ironic that it should be like this. They also say at the same time, it is spelled in the feminine manner with an E. That'll be 104 for communication, 10-4. If you want to do the math about it, we can go 52 cards and 52 cards. We can go 10-4 communication. We can say the inverted dice to 10 to what is 10 as 55. DC is that pass. I say it's freedom as 13, 28, and 4. 28 and 4, 28, 32, 32. The total is 66. And the reason I call it the freedom pass, because they usually talk about that your freedom is at 55. There was a commercial from my time, and it used to say freedom 55. The female is 66. And in that situation, it's 66 and 55. I didn't say that right. Pass, sky, the word woman, but the commercial used to say freedom 55. So it's 66 and 55 equaling to the total of 121, 11, 11. And the equation creates 55 in its own. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2, 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equal to 55 because there's 2 equations here. And 11 will create 1 times 1 equals 1, 1 plus 1 equals to 2, and we'll create that 1221. Your Fibonacci creation from the beginning is 1121. 4 times 6, 4 plus 6. 4 of 6 is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10. Well, I'll finish off with this one over here, is that the word 1 equals to 34 to what the mathematics of 0 creates. So that when you add them, the numeric values together, it equals this. So this is where your H and I come in from the last equation. When we, I'm going to try and stick to this. When I did 0, 1 in French, now we're connecting to Jupiter 13. They both have a numeric value of 99. I'm not sure of the syllables in this one or the word 13. I'm not going to get into that right now. I just have to write down this equation from earlier. I'm just going to write this down, third and fourth. So I'm just writing this down to get it out of the way, that show that these are polars to each other, and one starts with the TH and one ends in the TH. Another thing I wanted to say from this afternoon is that 1, 2, 3, 4 mirror, 4, 5, 6, 7, what should be another 4 numbers. It's 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, ending. And then we have 7, 8, 9, and then 1 again. It inverts itself. Do you follow what that is? The 4-year. So it would look like what would be happening is year 3 and year 4 look like that. Year 3, year 4 look like that. I'm just going to see where I have to go with this. And at the same time, 0, 1 is where your Q shows up. But there's more that shows up than that, and I'm going to explain this for a reason. 6 plus 4 is 10. Everything that's cut, that's multiplied, is splitting everything in parts of the same area. 3 plus 4 is 7, and that is your 17. If we invert that to what is 17 in the cube, we can see it right here where the 1 spirit is in the house of bait. 1 is inside all. The greatest number is actually 2, because otherwise it's just a mirror. So if you want to look at the greatest number to the cube is 4 or 3. But when it's 3 and you're using, you cannot use, or can you use, a divided area space? Is the beaver above and below? Because if it is, then you must use this dice cube all the way to here. And then the dice cube will end up looking like something like that. is what the dice cube would look, because you got to come all the way down here if you're going to split that dice cube up. In order to have your teepee, it's got to be extended to here. There's got to be this little piece that's missing here. How would that look? Let me see if I can. You see if I can design that. Let me see. Let me see if I can get that here. We take it like that, and we have to split it here. That's where it has to split. It has to split right over here and right over here. Did I get that right? See that? And then we're going to split it again here and here. And that's how it has to be split, either on this side or on this side. And now you see it's a right angle tilted Star of David. So when we come to the Tesla, do I have that here, Tesla? Right over here. Here it tilts to the right. When we use 147 area with 369. Here it tilts over the left when we use 147 with 258. So actually we can say we use 369 with 147, but when we use 369 with 258, it's completely up and down. The head, where the feet just fit in, the shoulders are wider apart. How the angles lean over to you. Here's your healing power inside the Sophia frequencies. Let me go back to the beginning. So we had that shape. Now we can also move this shape, right? This is your first dimension of Earth. We can move this shape all the way down here. What would make it move? We'll figure that out. We don't have all the answers, but we have the answers that we have. Well, I had to bring that in, right? Is that what it was? Anyways, okay, so we're going to leave that alone. I'm trying to see where I am now. I'm going to go back. Let me go back to where the reason why I came on here. Wow. I'm going to take a little sip of my tea. And wow, I wrote a lot. You see, that's why sometimes I have to gas stations, Citgo, number 51. So right away, it's telling me a story. Shell is 27, 32, 42, 52, 54, 56. I'm not going to go through that one. We're going to start over here. I'm going to take a tea break, 30 minutes. Everybody just take a break, ask me some questions. If I missed something, if I didn't finish something, in which I didn't, I still have to finish the letters that showed up in the design of Y, D, and B, and Q and P are just turned different ways. Okay. I am just going to go over. There was a gentleman, I do not have his website right now, was talking, or maybe I can look it up. Let me take a look. History. Yes, here's the website.
The numbers that have the dumbest spelling in English have got to be 7 and 11. Let me explain. First of all, if we look at how many syllables different numbers have, most of the small ones
Well,
have
where'd it
one
go?
syllable, except 7 says I'm gonna have 2.
Hold on.
And then most of the medium smalls are there. Oh, but 11 has 3. And anything with a 7 in it's like infected and bumped up one. The only one under 100 that has the nerve to have 5 syllables is 77. And if we go into the 3-digit and 4-digit numbers, these 11s and 7s infect it even more. There could be a pattern, but these mess it up completely.
Okay, now I want to show you that he doesn't notice in Pythagorean count. Here's another 7. 3, 6, 1, 5, 8, 3, 7, 1, 7, 1, 5, 9, 3. So there's a pattern in here that he didn't mention. 2-syllable words, he talks about it over here, 90, 18, 14. When he goes to a 4-syllable word, he goes 76. Well, the reason he says 76 is because 7, okay, is a 5-syllable word, and 6 is a 1-syllable word. So when you go to 78, okay, 8 is, I think, a 1-syllable word, and 70 is a 5-syllable word. So is that did I get that right? 79, 79, 7, 7T. So it's not 7, it's 7T. S even T. I'm just trying to go back and see exactly what he said. Let's start this over.
Now, what?
Okay, 1-syllable, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. 8 is 1-syllable. Now 7 is 2 syllables. So we got 6, 7. We have 7, 6. We have 4 syllables. 7, T, 6. So 7 has 7 and T and 6. So now it becomes 3 syllables and 1 syllable. So that 5 over here, 1 syllable, with 7, that is 3 syllables. So when you got 2, 7, 3, 7, 4, 7, 7, 7, and 7 all the way through. So 7T is 3 syllables, and everything else in here is 1 syllable. Now, when you get to, if we were doing this in French, it would be a little bit different. But to understand that in the word 7, we're going to take from my his work and put it into my work, not noting that all these in here in French will switch, and they will switch to a 1-syllable when 1 and 1 is 2, 1 and 7 is 8, 2 and 1 is 3. They all become 1 syllable. Now, if you multiply it, it becomes 36 and it remains the same. This one becomes 48, it remains the same. 84, it remains the same. 81, 8 times 1 equals to 8. This one will come out and it will go over here. The multiplication of this one will be 16. It will move into this category over here. As an addition and as a multiplication to a single digit, everything changes. And all single digits will move into this category over here. And everything else will switch if we use star system math. So let's get on to finding where our video is. And I just want to talk about what else we can do to 7. Noting that 7 has a 65 numeric count, meaning that the S is the 19th letter in the alphabet. The E is the 5th letter in the alphabet, where Eve is in the sun. The soul of Eve, or the spirit of Eve, is within the sun, the 19th letter. It's dark. It's a bright right. It's all in red, but it's dark. Also reflects the E as the numeric value design in the S. Why is it dark? How can I explain why it's dark? I need to explain it. Just give me a second. ES is an add-on as well when it comes at the end of the word, as in dashes, dot, or dots, but dashes has an ES. So we have to find the reason or the differences of why there's an S, why there's an ES, what the anomalies are. I still want to figure out why S. Is it because of Eve? Is it the snake with Eve? S is, oh yes, okay. In order to get to 19, you have to start with 13. In order to get to 13, you have to start with 16. It could be 61. The mathematics is all that counts, really, so it doesn't matter which way it starts. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 will equal 7, and 6 equals to 13. 1 and 3 equals to 4. So I can't explain or mathematically create it right now. I want to get on into what this turns into, what it sets up to be for the next equation. The V is a dark letter in the alphabet, or it's a light letter. We have two differences, odds and evens. In roulette, one is red, one is black, so I usually call them out as red and black. Everybody plays on the green velvet, and sometimes they play on the red velvet set up at casinos. So here we have 43 red, 22 black. We have 7 and 4. 4 and 3, 7, 2 and 2, 4. Or we can have 4 and 7, so we can have energy and time and Jesus. We can also get 28 and 11 equaling to 39, 17. 28 and 11, 39. 28 minus 11, 17. This numeric value will stand for angel. It will stand for the word 10. 93 is the numeric value that stands for Saturn. And anything that has a 9 in it, I always like to say it is the face. The cube has 9 areas on it. It is the face. How the face is set up is different. 6 and 3 inverted to 1 and 8. 7 come 8 and 3, 11. That is the game we are in. It's 1 and 6. That is the number, the sweet 16. So we can look at PAF, PAF POW. Maybe we'll go to DC Comics and check out the noises they make. So in 7, the numeric value is 65, is 43 red, 22 black, 22 is bust, 22 is ape. The primary 2 letters that create it is 3 and 19, and the mirror begins at 4 and 18. D and R, dear doctor. This is where everything begins, right on bust, where it breaks loose. Blackjack has the same rule. Why do I say that? Is because everything begins in star system math at number 3. We're coming from what is the mathematics of 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals to 2 equals to 1, 2 and 1 equal to 3. But in Fibonacci, it's 1 plus 1 equals to 2 plus 1 equals to 3. I just jump over that. 3 plus 2 equals to 5. And in reality, it's 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equals to 2 equals to 3 equals to that 5. So now, once we reach the third step, it's no longer the same. Once we reach the third step over here, okay, it becomes 5 plus 3 equals to 8. And in this one over here, it's 2 times 3, 2 plus 3, what will equal to 6 and 5, this time equaling to 11. And now we have our first separation. HK, maybe in hockey. So we're just going to leave that out. It could be just a coincidence. Don't know. In the Pythagorean count of the word 7 is 20. And 65 is in the long count. The short count is 16 and 4. Over here. In 11, the numeric value is 63. In the short count, it's 27. When you add the two together, it's 128. Did I add them together? 65 and 63 equaling to 128, or 3 and 8. And 27 and 20 equals to 47. They're both 11. This one equating to time of Jesus energy. This one is the gold, the club. The gold also represents what is 50. Gold is 50. It is also 38. It is also first, because when you come first, you are the winner and you get the gold. So we have to understand first at the same time. When the S and T come together, they are 39. The reverse alphabet is H and G, equaling to 15. All two letters will equate to the sun. The sun, the fox pass, anything to do with number 4554. It is also included in the birth. It is the heart of the birth. In French, the word is or. In French, the word is gagner. 717 showing me the gateway, and the ending shows me the gateway to the E world in the sun. NE also represents birth. Number 14 will show me 5 and 4, 4 and 5, and then 20 and 9. Let me explain this. 1 times 4, 4. 1 plus 4, 5, in any order. The word for this is breath and sun. One of the words is fox. There are other words. I have not spread my wings. I'm using fox. I hear it too often. I hear fox 45, and all the signs have been delivered. That's why we can never forget the story of life. They're in the games of creation, and everything's a game. A way to speak to somebody is a game. Who speaks better? Which way should it be said? When you go to court, what you say rules over what you mean. What you say and what you mean, your mean way of communication. The base value for this is 5 and 7. So it's telling me in this letter the sun, but the combination is telling me about the moon, in which converts into energy and time. Where is ET? The reason for that is the mathematics. 5 times 7 equals to 35. 5 plus 7 equals to 12, plus 35 equals to 47. So does the word time, energy, Jesus, cross. And do understand that cross, I like to see the cross this way. This is my obligation. If I would put the cross this way, it would look like this. Otherwise, it would look like this. Otherwise, it would look like that, the extended leg over. There is a difference. This is your 45-degree angle. This is your 90 and 180. This is actually 45 and 135. Is that 135 or 166? I have to do that calculation. The number for the moon, this is the number for Q. It is the gateway. When you add up 1 through 7, it equals to 28, which shows you about the cycle in the moon. When it talks about 28, it's talking both about the house of Bait, and where the 7 areas and 2 areas. Here's your 7 areas and your 2 dots. Your singular area over here talks about this one over here, talking about this one here. So this one goes with this one here, that one goes with that one here, and we tie everything up together. It's all discussable. 7 and 2, and this is created from 9 times 8. 9 plus 8 equals to 17 and 72. Together, it equals to that numeric value here. I'm going to always bring it down to this. I'm going to do all the calculations, right? But I'm always going to bring it down and work from the small side. this side and that side. Electric company, 75 and 75 and 35 is 3 and 8, and this is 110, and these two together create a 10-10 situation. The value for 10 in Roman numerals is X, but a 10-10 situation will create what is C100. I bring this back to Roman numerals. And the 24th letter in the alphabet is X, and its evaluation is C and X. That is the reverse alphabet. If you want to invert the alphabet, it is D and W. D would be on this side. Where is it? On this side. And W would be on this side. This is not in this situation. See, on this situation, here is C, here is D. Now, when I flip it back over and invert the reverse alphabet of 3 is X. The reverse alphabet of D is W. If we were working it through the alphabet. Now, for me, the alphabet has a slight flaw in it. And that flaw is when we count 1 through 26, we end at 8. So are we beginning with what is 1 through 8 equals to 9, 1 through 17 equals to 18, and 1 through 26 equals to 27. And this is a more personal, proper way of looking at the alphabet, where the birth and the spirit is where the heaven is in the house of bait through the 7th gate. Okay, let me look at that 12 a.m. this morning, 608 text. What 1208, 12 a.m. this morning, 608 text. 608. Now, is it because O is because O is an egg and it's high? That means it's not taking up a square position, which is Mars. It's taking up an Earth position because it's taking up more of a singular area rather than a round area. The question is, when you do that over 2 areas, there's a slight line dividing the 2 areas showing minus. When you use up 4 areas, although you'll see minus, minus, 2 lines up and 2 lines across, when you put them together, it creates a plus sign. I'm going to get another hot water. I'm going to come back. We're at 42 minutes. A little tired. I was out of the house for a while. For all those who didn't know where I wasn't doing videos. So actually I did a few, but I just was out, and I tried to not do too much thinking about it. I'm just trying to figure out what it was. How can I explain it? Maybe it's not to be explained right now, but you're always resetting communication, eh? Always resetting. Everybody sees things different. People were moved around. Schools were changed. Minds changed. Parents had their own thoughts. You know, we were all brought up different. We're all way different. We all see things way different. Way, way different. Bringing back harmony, where everybody seems to understand what the difference is between real and not real. What is needed, what is not needed. What is a command and an obligation, and what is just the direct rule. Give me 1 second, just a couple of minute break. I was just quoting that. Just give me a minute break here. Just have to close a couple of doors. Putting on the hot water. Just give me a second. want to send out a healing message for all the minds. A healing message for all the minds in peril right now. Some energy, some hope. Things will be better tomorrow. We are going to do the best we can today at the moment. So just give me 1 second here. Let me see where I am. Okay, I have to find my screen. Where is my screen? Not here. Okay, there I am. Okay, we're going to go on that gold. When you had the 50th wedding anniversary, when you're at the 50-yard line, it is 495. It's 49.5. You share that 50-yard line. So when you count 1 through 18, it equals to a total of 171. When you count from 19 to 36 or 360 degrees, it equals 495. The total is 666. Your vibration, although it's 432 to 234, you create what is the 90-degree angle. The division of this is 117, 7 come 11. Now we spoke about the word 7 come 11. That 7 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters. That is a total of 135, saying ace. It is 5 letters. The average is 65, so it's 5 by 7, 5 by 10, 5 by 13 equals to what is 65. So we know the average is 7. Okay, we know the average is 7. It's 13 per letter. 1 and 3 equals to 4. For 11, it is 63, and there are 6 letters. So we have to understand that 6 times 12. No, 6 times 10 equals to 60, and 6 times 0.5 equals to 3. So it is 6.5 times 6. Did I get that right? 6.5 times, let me get this straight. It is 6 times 10.5. 10.5, the letters are JE equaling to I. 6 times 10 and 6 times, let me get this right. Let me do this. Hold on a second. 6 times 10.5 equals 63. So the average difference in the alphabet between the two is 2.5, and that is Earth. 23 and 11 equals to 34 DC. I'm just trying to look through the evaluation. This one's 9. This one's 2 and 9 coming together. 6 and 3 is 9. 6 and 5 is 2. So we are in the same concept as number 29. Where does number 29? Things that connect to 29. What is 19? What is 39? Wow, I'm all over the place. I think I'm going to have to stop. This plus this equals this when we count to a single digit. 2 and 1, 3. 9 and 9, 18. 1 and 8, 9. So you know right away when you have a 3 here, how many ways is there to get that 3? 1 and 2 equals to 3. 9 and 9. Every time you have a 9, the additions will always add up to 9. I was watching a program that said something about the stork. So I calculated stork. So again, this is Trinity. This is 3. The reason for that is when 3 and 8 come together, it talks about gold. It talks about the number 1 is what will divide up 3 and 3. You have 1 over here, and you have 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3 here, and in the house of bait. So you have these 2 together, and then these connected together. I don't have this straight in the center. Did I explain that properly? 11 and 22. 11 will create 3 in math. 22 will create 8. I'm not going to get into the math right now. C and H is what comes from its creation as K and V. Now, I don't know if it's electricity or not. We're not going to go too deep with this, in which the 1 and 1 is BK and the 22 and 2 is D. So these letters will come to fruition within themselves when you reduce the number to the Pythagorean count, as well the inverted alphabet. The inverted alphabet is, if one side of the alphabet is K11 and the alphabet has a reverse numeric value at 27, what is missing is 16. The inverse alphabet will be P and E. P to K, E to V. What will be to B will be Y, and to D will be W. Now, there's a whole story going on here, because when we get the W, the invert to D is C. That means the invert to W is X. And now we've mirrored the alphabet. And I got this from a program I was watching. Cabbage equals to 57. We're talking about the moon. This equals to the word sun, like sun, birth, creation, S-O-N, sun. This is also going to create the division, two mathematical equations from here. It will create the division between night and day. And when night and day comes to be divided, it's divided at 11 and 22. In hockey, we have 3 periods. In 11 and 22, we have 1/3 and 2/3. There are others, but the first one starts at 1/3 and 2/3. 2 and 4, 1/3 and 2/3 equals to what is 6. 3 and 6, 1/3 and 2/3. 4 and 8. But this is in the, how can I explain it? This is in the base creation, right? Where you're going to use 31, 41, 51, 61, 71. So this is the base creation of the alphabet of numbers. When you get up to 5, it's no longer doubled. See, here it's doubled, but if I doubled everything, 5 and 5 is 10. It becomes 5 and 1. It now becomes 1/5, or 5/1. So the next one wouldn't be this. It couldn't be this. And there is no other than this. But if there was, it would be 510, 612, until we get to our, the base stops over here, 360 degrees. And the invert is to where the 4 begins. So this is where it ends and begins. See that divided gate, 3443 DC to the gateway, 6 and 8. We're not going to go anymore. We're not going to go to 6 and 12. 6 and 12, what would 6 and 12 be? It'd be 3 times this and 3 times that. So your gateway at 33 is 6 and 12, 3 times. So if we went 3 times the next one, it'd be 9 and 18. And that would be the half alphabet. And that would be the divided alphabet as well. I and R to what is F and L. This is not the inverted alphabet. This becomes the inverted alphabet, solidifying that this is your division. And at the same time, we run everything at 360 degrees. But we don't want to forget that 360 degrees happens 4 times in a day when you're running 1,440 minutes. But 360 degrees, actually, if you want to look at it a different way, okay, the invert of 360 degrees to 86,400 seconds in a day is going to happen 24 times. If I got that correct. Let me check this out. 24 times 360 equals, yes. So here you have what is the minutes in a day, and here you have the seconds in a day, making up to the 24 hours in a day, or the 4 periods of 300, or the 4 periods of 360 minutes, or 6 by 4 and 6 by this and 6 by 4, 24, 6 by this equals to 2160, and this equates to the diameter of the moon and as well the cube, 21 dots, 1 through 6 in the house of bait. Yeah, you can say anything in that situation. But we're going to end the video right now, and I appreciate those who are to watch. If you don't understand something, there's just so much going on. I wanted to finish off with saying 101010. 01 equals to what is 98, H and I is where in the house of bait, referring to H, headquarters, is the birth of IR, of ire, bait ire, bait ire. I'm not sure if you can understand why it's like that. They say it's a natural. Natural's a picture. A picture could be water from a movie. They say it's a natural when you're playing the game of Baccarat 8 and 9. 8 and 9 is the invert from 1 and 2. 8 and 2 to the cycle of the 1 and 9, the spirit of birth. 91 and 82. 91, 82. I'm just trying to think of the situations, but there's a lot going on. There's no questions being asked. I want to thank you for watching. Peace and love from my heart. And yeah, I would go just about anywhere in the world to sit and meditate and just reunite the truth of the word so we can share it with the world. And the thing that can be shared freely is the truth through the word, just speaking the word. And with that word and our belief in the truth of the mathematics and the equations of all games that have ever been created in all dictionaries, thesaurus, and so on and so forth, I'm ready to go. I definitely am ready to go. It's time that we all wake up to think and believe there is a game inside the game telling the truth to every single Bible that has ever been written that can never be hidden, because it is in the lines, the dashes, the dots, the shapes. It is the word. Thank you for watching this video.